Boyer Reclaimed series. I titled the series Reclaimed because of this hipster aesthetic, looking to a time that's more authentic, specifically the 30s, 40s, 50s, and I called it Reclaimed because a picking of random objects. It's certain items that are older that are deemed more authentic are taken and reabsorbed into culture, and so reclaimed in a way. American hipsters, it's a subculture in America which is oftentimes shown by different items that people wear, the ways that they live. It's a fleeting notion. As soon as something is defined as hipster, it's almost not cool anymore and everyone has to move on to the next thing. So it's a funny thing to try and define, and I think because of that you end up picking different items from the culture. So fashion, thick glasses, tight pants frequently, items found in a thrift store for women. Also a way of life, riding bicycles, living in the city, growing your own food, things like that are all hipster. So this piece is called Evening Barbecue. I chose the purple because I like that feeling of dusk that it gives, specifically in this red color purple. I think it gives a feeling of things have quieted down. The party has been going on for a few hours. Also, within that theme, people have divided into groups of three. It's no longer that loud, boisterous party where everyone's talking and laughing and having a great time, but people have started to have more individual conversations. For me, it's partially just a challenge and I think a very interesting visual exercise, but I think also fits this sort of style of hipsters and street art, the very bold colors. I also do use bold colors as a contrast to the older objects. You don't often see old-fashioned items in very bright colors, so it shows that they are reclaimed, that they're no longer in their original state. This piece is Frank. It means a lot to me because it's my husband. So in this piece, I love how he's looking off in the distance. It's as if he invites the viewer to look with him, maybe over a horizon or maybe just to the end of the room. You're not sure, but I really like that about his posture. And then for the shapes in Frank, since he's wearing a cowboy hat, which is pretty common with hipster culture, and again gets back to that kind of simplicity, that history. I did antique guns in a symbol that you'll often see with in cowboy movies or in toys, something like that. So it's not intended to be serious guns, but playful and antique to play off of the cowboy hat to give a feeling of history that is again reimagined. I chose to take some of the pieces and cover them in resin and then have PVC pipe in the back to contrast from the canvas, which is what this is painted on, which is a natural material. And I tried to keep that sort of feeling of the canvas and contrast it with plastic. Similar to how I use the color to, which is very bright, which is not very old-fashioned. The plastic envelops that natural material and makes it something that is new again to the culture. So this one is titled Ryan and Lewis. It's two of my friends who are very close, and what initially drew me to this was their knees. I just love how they're both sitting in the stool and parallel but sitting slightly in a different posture. For these two, I chose a similar theme, computers and pens, so both something that you use to write with. This is the original Apple computer here, so it's very old and outdated. And it was specifically meaningful for Ryan because he uses old computer parts to make noise music. So I wanted to reference that with his shape. And then with Louis, I chose the fountain pen because he's a statistician. He's very academic, and so the fountain pen is a good symbol of academia and intelligence and just having that old-fashioned knowledge.